Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my third Q&A video leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 7. Hearts still beating, and this one we're going to go over first. Rick getting his mojo back. Oh man, it's getting cold. Winter is here. All right. So the first question came from Adam Baker, who said, it was more of a comment, really. I can't take it anymore. Rick being so sad and beaten down. Time for him to start kicking ass again. So yeah, it's a comment. Wanted to start with that one because I've seen a lot of comments like that in the last little bit. And I think a lot of people were getting a bit turned off to the show because this is probably the first time in the series we've seen Rick in this kind of a totally defeated state at the hands of an enemy. I mean, he had the loss of Lori where he was confused and he had, PTSD and he was seeing her and, that whole thing, right? So he's had that before. But this has been different. This has been, I guess, somewhat similar to that, but at the same time, like, subservient to Negan. So, yeah, it's definitely different. Even though he was in a bad state there, I think he's in a worse state now. And we can see in the promo he's crying and he's seeing something. So what is it he's going to see? I'm not sure exactly. It could be the death of a character. We'll keep that spoiler-free for this one. Did a spoilery Q&A yesterday, so you guys can check that if you want to see the spoilery one about whose blood is on Negan. Check that out. It's in the channel. He could be seeing that. He could be seeing Negan just gutted somebody, just to smash somebody. Gut-wrenching scene. I don't know. But obviously he's pretty sad. He could... What if Negan, this was an idea some people brought up, is what if Negan doesn't hurt Judith, but what if Negan decides to take Judith with him? That would be pretty. I could see him break down and cry seeing something like that happen. So we'll see, man. We'll see what they've got for the mid-season finale. But either way, I feel like The Walking Dead, after episode 7, has its mojo back. Even though it's a totally different episode than we're used to, because it has a lot of comedy. Negan's really funny in it, and it's just a great episode. It's one of the funniest episodes in the entire series. Probably the funniest if you look at all the different jokes from Negan and stuff. If you like dark humor and can understand that it's a bad guy who's saying this and can get that that's his character, then you can kind of laugh along with everybody else or laugh along with him, knowing that's who he is and that you're not like that, hopefully, right, in real life. Yeah, I'm really excited to see Rick become more of the badass Rick that he's used to. It makes me think of the camera when, Negan puts the camera on him and talks about who he is now and that guy anymore with the beard and all that. So he's going to get it back. And I think what happens at this mid-season finale in episode 8 is going to make Rick realize that Michonne and Carl are right and that there's no way they're going to be able to make this work and that sooner or later, they are going to have to fight back against Negan. So that in the second half of Season 7, they can start to devise some ways and some strategies that they can look at trying to rebel against Negan and ultimately take him down. Next one is from xxplvb, and he says, honestly, Chandler's acting was passable this episode because they kept his lines minimal, but God, was the scene where he kills the men terribly acted. I did see some people still complaining about Chandler Riggs acting in this one after episode 7. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the Sing Me a Song scene, which is the most crucial probably of the whole thing, was pretty good. I mean, there's some things in it that maybe with the crying and stuff that maybe I prefer the comic version, or I felt like it was done a little bit better in the comics. But I guess I'd agree with you. I feel like it's passable. I feel like he did a good job with regards to, at least the way I saw it, the way I read it. He did a pretty good job because that's some of those parts are a little bit difficult, I would think, to act out, the crying and stuff like that, and kind of switching to kind of the more threatening type of lines that he had at the beginning when he kills this man. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because he's his age and he's really skinny, right, and stuff, and maybe it just feels kind of awkward. I'm not sure. Being a teenager like that at that age is kind of awkward. As George Carlin has said, they're incomplete work, right? I do not give grades for incomplete work, so they're not fully grown yet. They're still teenagers. They're still, they're still growing, muscle tissue and everything, still growing out and everything. So I didn't think it was too bad this time. I thought he did a pretty good job, and I thought JDM did an amazing job, man. Crazy. Ngatiramona says, hurt her? No, but punish her daddy by taking Judith. This is where it came from. And/or Michonne back as his own? Yes, that would explain Rick's reaction. So I like that. I wanted to give you credit for that because that was yours. You thought that up. So he would. And also if Michonne showed up and tried to kill Negan or something, or maybe if Rosita did it, I feel like Rick would react. I don't know if he'd cry that much for Rosita. He might cry that much for Spencer if something happens to him because he did promise Deanna that he would keep him safe. She made him promise, and he said he would. So I could see him crying because he's failed. He's failed her, right? And that was her dying wish, and he was not able to oblige. So I could see something like that. But definitely with the tears, it could be something involving Judith or Michonne for sure. Or something else Negan is doing, maybe busting his balls or something. We'll see. As we see how much Negan likes to do that. The Notorious ONG says, I think Dwight was the one who passed the note to Daryl. Here are the reasons why. Number one, he's in charge of the cell specifically. Daryl, he has the key to lock and unlock the door. He left the door unlocked. Number two, he would know which guards are on duty, their posts, and their schedule. He would know when there's a chance for an escape. Number three, he smokes. He would have matches on him. Number four, the key in the hole was the key to Daryl's motorcycle. The last person to be seen in possession of it was Dwight. Dwight has been breaking down this entire season. Yeah, I think that stands out as the biggest one, especially when you see, and I thought Austin Emilio did a great job when he sees Sherry and Negan make out, the makeout scene where Sherry's selling it too well. She's like, it's like, if you're faking, you deserve an Oscar. No, not really, but if you're faking, you're doing too good of a job with it, and he's not feeling good about how good of a job he's doing with it. Seeing someone else meet the same fate as him, and seeing his wife kissing the man repeatedly, see even she mentioned that one, or he. Belittles him was the last straw. Dwight knows Daryl is a good guy, but not weak. I think Dwight sees him as a potential ally. 7, the comics. So those are her reasons, or his reasons for the theory. I really like the theory. I read it as that it'd probably be somebody like that. A lot of other people read it as it'd probably be Jesus. But I felt like if it was Jesus, couldn't it have been a cool scene to see him sneak into the place or something? I just think that could have been an intense sequence to see him sneak in and see the guards and stuff and go around or something. I don't know, man. That's tricky. So we'll see who it ends up being if we find out later who it was. But it's a good theory, and I don't think anyone's stupid for thinking it's Jesus or thinking it's Dwight who freed him, or thinking it's Sherry who freed him too. Because sometimes she gives him looks, like she'll look at him, not in necessarily an attracted way, but she'll just have a sympathetic look towards him, like she feels bad for him. So I could see it going any way with that one. Seth Kegler says, how did you give it a 9.8 and not a 10? Okay, so here's the deal, Seth. I only give 10s for episodes that I view to be almost like pretty much perfect. I mean, it's pretty, and as with anybody, it's pretty difficult to get a perfect score, right? And so this episode, it was damn close. There was some editing here and there that I felt was a little choppy. There was some parts where they would have the Negan sequences and the stuff at the sanctuary. Then they'd cut to Rick and Aaron, and then they'd have a commercial right after. It's like, well, why didn't you put the commercial right after the Negan part and then come back with that? It was just a little choppy, a little crazy, and I felt like, it's not perfect, so I shouldn't give it. It's kind of blatantly obvious that I think there's things in it that are not perfect. I mean, a 10 is for episodes like No Way Out, which I view as pretty much perfect. I mean, they did so many things in that episode that were insane. It should get a 10. Too Far Gone, No Sanctuary is a good episode for a 10, I think. So it's really close, I think. And if you like comedy a lot, if you like Negan a lot, from him, it's damn close. But I could see if anybody wanted to rate it as a perfect score, because it's an awesome episode. I'm still really happy with it. But I personally give it a little less than perfect. It's just me. Kelly W. says, Hey Trav, did you find Carl's eye reveal disappointing? To me, it looked a little silly, looking like glue prosthetic from Party City. Negan says, I can totally see your eye socket. But he couldn't have, because the cheesy prosthetic made the black covering his eye look obvious. Maybe they were trying to make it look scabbed over, but missing eyes don't scab over. The showrunners can spend a ton to give us a CGI tiger, and they can't spend money to make Carl's empty eye socket look realistic. I thought it was okay. I mean, I think the comic version is probably better with Charlie Adler's artwork. I mean, it looks pretty gruesome, right? It looks pretty brutal. The TV series version, I have to admit, it looked brutal, but at parts, especially when he's moving and stuff and he wasn't wearing the cover, it didn't look... You're right. It didn't always look 100% on point, right? I would say that. Sometimes it looked a little bit like fuzzy in that. That's hard to do. I've done a lot of editing over the years through the videos and everything for green screen, stuff like that. It is very hard not to have some kind of fuzz around the cut. The closer you can get it without hardly any fuzz, the softness, the harder you can get it, the better. But it's still really hard to do, and you got to remember, they got to get these episodes done fast, so they don't have that much time. With a movie, they've got a long time to do the editing and stuff like that, and put it all together and everything, CG and animation and effects and everything. So, but with this, with a TV series, and they're doing so many episodes, extended sequences, CGI tiger, all this other stuff they're doing, probably blew out the budget on Shiva, to be honest. That's probably why we saw a lot of slow episodes. I've said that a few times now. I think it's true, and the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, it probably cost so much to do the tiger that it probably took away money from the other episodes, and that's why we got some slower episodes where they didn't do as much as they could have, probably because Shiva cost so damn much to do for editing and everything, and to get it done fast, because again, you got to get it done fast. It was halfway. Shiva was like half CGI, half real, right? Mostly CGI, I would say. So I thought it was okay. I didn't think the eye socket was terrible. Let's put it that way. I thought it was all right. And we'll do last one from Colin P. Page Anno. He says, aren't Rick and Aaron right by the Oceanside community? And that's a good point, because you see the water and everything. They look like they've traveled out a decent ways. So I don't know if we can say that they're close by to that, because also, if the Oceanside was very close by, you would think that they might have already picked that place clean. So I don't think they're going to cross over into the Oceanside territory in the mid-season finale, because we've got so much other stuff going on right now. I feel like that's going to be left for a while. But it's possible, because the environment looks somewhat similar. You see a lot of water and everything. So it's possible, but I don't think they're that close to it. Maybe somewhat close, but not that close. So we'll call it here for today's Q&A, guys. Got another one coming for you later today. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. If you want to support the channel, please share. Please favorite. If you're new, you want to subscribe, bottom left, subscribe. Check out another video here. And thank you guys for all your support. Keep watching the videos. Love you guys watching the videos. A lot of fun. And thanks for sticking with me, guys, all the way through all these years. And into Season 7, man, just, the momentum right back with Walking Dead after Episode 7. That was absolutely killer. JDM killed it, man. Just absolutely killed it. One of the best performances I've seen in a TV series in a long time. So for this video, guys, we'll see you soon. As always, just Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.